You know, if we're constipated, it is impossible to be healthy, to look good, feel great, feel energetic, feel like you are on top of the world on cloud nine. Like when we're constipated, like there's nothing better. There's nothing we want more than to have a hopefully effortless on our part, full, complete evacuation of our food and our waste products. Like that is number one on our list. Anyway, so like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about that poop. Let's talk about that constipation and figure out some things that we can do that will definitely help make us more regular the rest of our life. So delving right into it, number one is probiotics. So what you have to understand is that like there is a number one fuel source that our gut actually wants and works the absolute best on, and probiotics create it. So like any vegetables or plant matter you eat whatsoever, that's going to be acted upon and eaten and metabolized by the hopefully healthy probiotics we got living in our gut. And they're gonna produce these compounds called short chain fatty acids. Like maybe you've heard of butyrate, maybe not, doesn't matter. Anyway, this is the number one fuel source of our gut. So if we want to be really regular, if we want to have that energy so that we can comfortably push out our poop, we gotta have probiotics making us those short chain fatty acids. Now, in general, I always recommend periodically we do a cycle of like soil-based probiotics. So like an example would be Bacillus coagulans, Bacillus indicus, Bacillus subtilis. I mean, you know, you can find them. They're really, really good at just going in and totally reconstituting, refortifying, modifying the terrain, our internal terrain a little bit more so that the other types of bacteria, the run-of-the-mill bacteria that we've all heard of, that's on the shelf of every grocery store, at least in America, can work better. And in particular, we want to focus on the bifidobacteria species. So like Bifidobacteria infantis or Bifidobacterium bifidus or Bifidobacterium lactis. Just, you know, look on your bottle and you make sure that you can see that type of probiotic, the bifidobacteria. Those are going to be such a life changer for you. And I do want to throw in a little caveat. Sometimes you're going to have to adjust and play with the amount that you take. Anyway, so we all have a little bit different bodies. So some of us are going to be great with just one pill. Some of us might need to take like 5 for a while and then back off until we get more regular. Anyway, so probiotics are excellent at softening our stools and stimulating our colon to actually work. Now, moving on to number 2. Stress, okay? Our perception of stress shuts off our entire digestive system. So, you know, we have this parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. Basically, when we're stressed out, our sympathetic nervous system is being activated, which when it's activated shuts off our digestion, which isn't that cool. So there happens to be a class of herbs, they're called adaptogens. And like they help us with non-specific body reactions to our environment, i.e. stress. So like they go in and they start to rebalance like our serotonin, our dopamine, our norepinephrine, and cortisol levels. Like cortisol is like that classic stress hormone that really makes us feel and perceive that we are in a stressful environment. Anyway, so they're natural adaptogenic herbs. Really good ones are like rhodiola and Siberian ginseng. They have been used for such a long time, and their number one recommended use for these adaptogenic herbs is for a stressful environment. So when we want to help our body deal with stress a little bit better so that we can hopefully not be constipated within the smallest stressful environment, definitely for a lot of us, these adaptogenic herbs are greatly going to help us out. Now, moving right along to electrolytes. So like, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we know that we need a good fuel source for our colon, like those short chain fatty acids. But whenever like our body decides, okay, we need to evacuate, there's a message that's got to be sent to our colon to evacuate. That message is relayed by things called electrolytes. I think we've all heard that term before, electrolytes like calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. They're minerals. And so what happens, like a lot of us, especially when we're getting in and we're like to a new health routine, whatever, like something that we've all heard of before is like drink a gallon of water a day or drink 8 glasses of water a day. And that means you're healthy, which, you know, it's cool to be hydrated, but there's a little caveat with that a lot of us haven't heard before is that, yeah, it's not just water, but it's also minerals that are in the water or electrolytes that are in the water. So a lot of us end up drinking just highly filtered water, which is cool, like there's no crap in it, but there's no electrolytes in it either. So we drink 8 glasses of this pretty much dead water, and what happens is it ultimately ends up dehydrating us, and it flushes out all of our electrolytes. So the signals that our body is trying to send to our colon to move, to activate that peristaltic rhythm, they ain't getting there because there's no electrolytes to help that message be relayed. Anyway, so one of the best natural electrolytes, add it to your water. It's Shilajit Resin. You just take a little pinch and it is loaded with a plethora of minerals, 80 plus minerals, and it is really, really powerful. If you don't want to do the Shilajit Resin, you can do an extract of it called fulvic acid, which again is awesome. If you can't do that, at the very least, get you some electrolyte powder or add some, you know, some pink Himalayan salt or some sea salt to your water. Just understand you need minerals in your freshly purified water so that that peristaltic motion can happen. Now I want to touch on another category of constipation, and specifically opioid-induced constipation. Now, just a little preface before I get into it. I am in no way condoning or recommending recreational use of opioids, or i.e. Vicodin or hydrocodone or Oxycontin. I don't support it in the least bit. However, there's some people with legitimate reasons who are in severe, debilitating, chronic pain that these opioids can make their lives a little bit better. That's the only reason that I would ever say, okay, yeah, definitely you can use these. Anyway, those people who are in such severe chronic pain, as a side effect of using an opioid, oftentimes they develop chronic constipation. Now, what happens is the opioid just kind of supercharges our colon's ability to extract water. So in case you don't know, the food that should be turned into a liquid in your mouth and in your stomach with all those juices, by the time it gets to your anus, it should kind of be a semi-solid. And it's semi-solid because our colon absorbs the water. Now, it should be like a controlled, easy, mellow, smooth process, but the opioids supercharge that process, so you end up with pebbles and just a pure brick, a brick out of crap, and it can't bend and move and contort in all the ways and the random angles that's the shape of our colon. So anyway, to help those people out, there is a wonderful traditional Japanese herbal supplement. It's called tsumura mashiningan. Don't worry, I'll type it up below so that we know what it is. It's a wonderful natural Japanese supplement like I just mentioned, specifically for opioid-induced constipation. And it works on these sodium channels. I'm not going to get too into it, but it works on these sodium channels so that our colon doesn't absorb so much water, which leaves our stools softer and better well-formed and easier to pass. And specifically, well, anybody can take it, but specifically individuals suffering from opioid-induced constipation, it is wonderful for. We do these things and our bowels will be totally different and they'll be thanking us, and you will get to experience that wonderful sensation where you just had an effortless bowel movement and a complete evacuation, and you feel 100 pounds lighter, and just you are now king of the world. Anyway, we wish you all the success, of course, in the world, and cheers.